Welcome to the Cinebois. So today is a different kind of show. It's not like talking about movies or talking about a movie which was totally underrated. So today is a different thing. We have two persons who are trying to make a change in certain categories using art. So welcome Siddharth and Abhishek. Welcome to the Cinebois.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ratish. Thank you, Lakshman. It's an honor to be here because I see your videos. What you are doing is the technical analysis of the movie, breaking down all the details. It's great to be here talking about our sports documentary, The Lost Heroes. Yeah, let's go. Let's talk about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so there are lots of very different aspects. So that when I first time saw the Lost Heroes, I was actually like, even as a cinematic piece, I was like awestruck with that, and even with the impact, or even with the motivation behind making it is also like moving. It's not just about another short film or another documentary. It has a really a meaning to that. So I want to start with that. Like you showed this in this documentary, that we showed very different struggles of like very talented sports people, right? Like who are capable of winning various accolades for our country, like especially in the Olympics or in any other like the Asian wealth, Commonwealth, any other things as a. But we as a nations are losing, like from especially from the small cities due to the infrastructure or due to the so any other reasons. So what were your thoughts when you first time chose that? Why you chose this topic? That's my first question.
Okay, so yeah, maybe start. That's a good starting question. So, like, I have been playing sports from childhood now, almost 10,000 days, if I calculate, and that I've been playing different sports, whether it is cricket, football, table tennis, badminton, any game, and uh, I love this. I love every sport. Like, it has taught me a lot of life lessons. And then I also traveled to Europe and US. I saw the sporting ecosystem there, and then I came back here to India. I saw the differences. What are the problems? And that basically triggered me. Like, when people talk why Indian football team couldn't qualify to, let's say, FIFA World Cup, despite of having great talents, that triggered big questions like, why can't we, like, we all are discussing these questions, but do we know what is the fundamental problem and how we can change it? So I was in Mathura, and I was talking to a lot of athletes and sports people. So they basically, I started asking questions to them, like, what's your vision? Why do you play this sport? Why do you do this? And all those questions basically gave me a solution, like solution or kind of a vision, that why Indian sport is not at that level, is not at international standards. Like, why we have only one gold in athletics in Olympics, or why do India is not into football? So all those questions, talking to different sports personalities, coaches, I came to know that this is basically the problem, and that we can definitely talk later in discussion. So that basically triggered this. And yeah, there was a day, I mean, I was going through Abhishek's documentary. I thought his work will be very interesting in this sports. I called him, and he mentioned, yeah, I wanted to do sports documentary, and that's how we basically joined together, collaborated together, and focused on the sports documentary, especially in Mathura.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's good. That's a great initiative, Siddharth. And I think it's going, the dream or the thought you have, aim you have, it is going to be completed. So moving on, like when I saw the documentary first, there were few montage shots of like players, and then suddenly it shifted like where we are. So we saw that it was Mathura. So like, why did you choose like to show this documentary, and why did you choose
Hmm.
the city Mathura only, like not any
Sure.
other city?
Sure. So, so like I said, there is a problem. Like, when I identify what is the problem, I thought, if we want to try the solution, or if we want to discuss about this solution, let's start it from a place of origin. And since I was living here in Mathura for a year, I was playing sports in different fields, colleges, schools. I talked to a lot of people, so I knew the local network, sporting network,
Okay.
let's say that. And this is easier to like navigate. Like, so if we tell them that if we want to make some movie or video, so they will be saying yes, right? So fundamentally I wanted to test this POC or proof of concept in local area where I don't have to go through logistics problem or taking care of different problems. So I was here, I am here, I know everyone, and basically it is easier for me to navigate and just to see what's the response if we make this, and if what's the response of these people, like if we make a sports documentary on them, if we show them, showcase them, highlight them, how what will be the impact. Just to test the impact, I started from Mathura. My next goal is to go into different areas, different regions of India. There are very remote places where there are so many stories, I mean, inspiring stories filled, and I just want to cover those. So that will be at later point of time as I plan that. But since Mathura was very accessible to me, and like network wise and in terms of time and all, management as well. So I started with Mathura, and I think we did get a great response from local area, Mathura, and all the other related areas.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was clearly, we can see that in the video. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So next question is like a follow-up to this question where we as Ratish was mentioning. So initially the narration starts with like the introduction of the city through the drone shots, and then we directly face into the problems faced by different athletes in different sports, right? So how did you get hold of these different stories? Because these are not very inspiring stories, and like even focusing on one like sports would have been difficult. But how you managed to get like different stories from different sports?
Right. So, yeah, so basically when I came back to India from US, I was in US, I came back to India. I wanted to play football, right? And so I went to this KR college. It's in Mathura. I saw the field. It was okay, and I started playing. So there was so many different sports going on. Like there was kabaddi happening, volleyball, handball, hockey, all those sports happening in the same ground. But it was not so. The ground was okay. It was not like the international level. So I was in Pittsburgh, and I was near around Carnegie Mellon University. There's a free stadium, like it's for free, the turf and everything, all the international level standard football field or tracks. And when I came back here, I saw the difference. I'm like, how can we like compete to international standards if we have
Right.
grounds like this? So I started basically playing there. I started playing football because I want to play, so it doesn't matter what kind of field it is. So I started playing football, and then I started talking to different people, and that's how I make connections in handball, volleyball, and hockey, different sports. So, and when we decided, like when I talked to Abhishek, bro, let's make this movie on sports, and when he said yes, so I started planning. Like I started talking to these people, like the principal and the coaches and athletes, if they are interested for a short interview kind of thing, and most of them agreed. I also wanted to cover a lot of football because there are like four, five local clubs, football clubs here. I wanted to take those stories, but unfortunately, they didn't have time. We couldn't arrange that time, so we couldn't cover that. But so I talked to all of these athletes, and there were times when we had no one, nothing planned, but we just go to the ground. There were a few athletes playing. We asked them, hey, do you want to go for an interview? We are just capturing this on sports. They said yes, and we just shot it. So that's how basically we managed it. We have a 5 day shoot plan, and I managed it earlier only, like when Abhi was coming to Mathura, I planned everything. And then we started traveling to the places, all these five places, and we all these places in 5 days, and we shot everything. So that's how we basically managed to uh, shoot. And I mean,
Okay.
Abhishek may give more insights on like how was his experience in Mathura in
Yeah.
shooting in different places.
Yeah, actually, it was very, very, very challenging for me. For the past documentaries and all, I know the story and I know what to do. But for this, actually, he told me only, there is some problems here about the sports and all. So we have to, you have to come here and, analyze the problem and shoot. So we had a very limited time. We have only like 5 days, and for 5 days we have to complete the whole shooting. So
Okay.
every time we go and met a athlete or a footballer and all, you know at that time only we know his story. So that is kind of very, very challenging for me. I mean, I don't know about how to put up that in my this documentary completely. So that was very, very challenging for me. I mean, combining all these stories together and making it a complete perfect 15-minute documentary, that was one thing that we both actually planned this for a very long time. So it was a really a challenge for me.
Okay, that's great, man. Like as you said, it was challenging, but I saw you try to show one kind of life cycle in that whole documentary. Like the documentary started from an teenage athlete and it ended
Yeah.
with an coach. So what
Yeah.
was the thought process behind this kind of life cycle?
That was, while shooting this, the whole editing part was done by me. So
Yeah.
while I was editing this project, I was kind of very confused. I mean, like, I don't know where to start. I mean, like, there are many stories. I mean, football is there, hockey is there, handball is there, and hurdles is there. So I was very confused about where to start. So I used to walk every day outside my house. So while walking, I used to listen to this music. I mean, the music that I'm going to put on this documentary. So while I was
Okay.
walking, I used to think about, every single things that the athletes or the coaches said. And I used to combine that and, visualize that in my mind while I was walking. And while I was doing that, I got an idea about, you have to start from this. And, while ending, it would be much more impactful for the audience also. So that way I did just like that. And I also gave my first copy. I mean, when I completed, I gave Siddharth Bhaiya, just like, I mean, just watch and say. And he told me like, yeah, it's really nice. So I thought, yeah, this is good. Or else I know I would have changed that.
No, no, it was really good, man. That thought process was really good. I really liked it. Like you were showing some like the whole complete cycle of an
Actually, the
athlete.
music at the end, I already planned before coming to Mathura. So I only had
Okay.
this music. I mean, the ending music part was the only thing that I planned. But I really wanted to know about the stories also. But the thing is that when we went to a ground, I mean, if Siddharth Bhaiya was talking about this KR college, so when we went there, then only we met an athlete. Okay, so we never knew his stories before. We don't know if it is kind of emotional or is it motivational. Like, I mean, like, stories has a different type of context.
Right.
So
Right.
it's very different. So I know the ending part only. So I wanted to
Hmm.
make it very perfect at the middle part also. So that's why we mixed up a lot of stories also.
Yeah. Got it. Got it.
Yeah.
Right, like
Yeah. When we
maybe
said,
to add
yeah.
a few points, uh, like the story of Jitendra sir, I knew a little bit, but at the
Yeah.
time when we were shooting, no, when he explained the
Exactly.
entire those that moment was I mean unreal.
Seriously,
It
like,
was
we were very much exhausted after a whole day of shoot. So we had our kabaddi shoot at the morning, and at the evening we had this handball shoot. So, oh, sorry, volleyball shoot. So after the shoot, we went for Jitendra sir's interview, and when he started talking about all those things, I mean, his cancer thing and all, we were like, kind of, I was just shaking while recording the.
I think we lost Abhishek.
so yeah, I mean, let me add it. So
Yeah.
basically, we were kind of very awestruck at that moment. So it was yeah, like it was moving. I knew he had cancer earlier. Like I talked to few students, volleyball student players, and they mentioned about his story. And there were like a few more stories that I knew, but not the entire thing. And I wanted to cover those, but because a few people were not available at that time, we couldn't capture it. But yes, there were, I think there were at least two stories that I wanted to include into it, which we couldn't. So yeah, it's okay, but it was like this one entire package was very good one, nicely framed and nicely edited. Like, we also knew this fact that no one will watch a documentary like
Mm.
people will watch The Last Dance on the Netflix, right? Or any other kind of, the sports documentary on Netflix or Prime maybe, but not on YouTube, not on not without any celebrity. So we kept it short. We had like half an hour or 45 minutes of material that we shot, and I think Abhishek did a very great job of concising it, and not for a single moment you will feel it's boring, because the story,
Yeah.
that the way it is moving, it's amazing. So yeah.
Yeah, there is always that flow was very good. Even I was talking with Raktish that it has a flow. Like for any story, it should have a flow. Like there should be a head and there should be a tail. It should not be something like everything is a, like a middle part. And it makes sense.
Right.
And as we were talking about this, Jitendra, like our next topic was that only that especially the two persons like Jitendra as well as the Dalbir Singh. They
Hmm.
both were like very passionate, and especially Jitendra's story was very moving, right? Because he already had like two times cancer and then come back and then still fighting it and making it determination so that he can have like a better reach. And he is even trying that our students should go to this one of the students at least from his batch should go and play for India and win medals.
Right.
That was
Right.
really inspiring. And especially on the other side, the Dalbir Singh, when he talks about that, like when everyone plays sports at any level, not only on the international level or the national level, even at a normal level, the mental strength of those person gets increased drastically. Because
Right.
like their so the suicide case, especially we was talking about, the suicide case gets reduced drastically. When we see the suicide case, it's not meant for any sports people. Like it's like because they are mentally very strong, they know in sports there is always win or lose. So when a person gets used to this lose and when he learns from the failings, he can use it in life.
Exactly.
But when there is no any sports activities, the failure it seems as a very big thing rather than seeing as a learning thing. So that was also very motivational for us that yeah, like when we play sports, and specifically Ratish was like playing in a very bigger level as well, so he knows a lot about it as well. And even I played a normal like this badminton and all those things, even not on a national level. I even understand the sense that yeah, like as a sports person, when we
Exactly.
play, there is always win or lose, irrespective of how hard work or how much you are playing in that ways as well. So that was
So
also
yeah, I
like really
think
interesting as well.
maybe I will extend this point of yours. Like, one is about the cancer, and the second is the suicide point and the depression point. So let's start with cancer one. So we know the story of Yuvraj Singh, right? He had
Mm.
cancer. He came back from the cancer, and he got us a World Cup. So similarly, like, we have so many stories in small parts of India, small cities or towns or villages of India, but these stories are unheard, or these stories are just specific, constrained to those areas. So this way we are trying to highlight this story to different areas. Like, it will reach to Mumbai or Delhi or any other place, Kolkata, whatsoever. So it's definitely important to talk about these heroes at in small areas and celebrate them, because if we try to celebrate them, and if we make them hero, uh, this will be very good for our future generation. So they know, even though you have tough battles, you have to go on, and that's how it will create right mindset for the youth generation. Like, we see a lot of problems in our youth generation. I mean, I don't want to name the problems, but yes, so these kind of stories will empower them, will give them more motivation. Second is about depression and all. So what Dalveer sir said, that a sportsman doesn't quit, or he doesn't go for suicide and all, and that's to the point. Like, even I had the origin of this movie also comes from my personal experience. So I had this uh, lowest point of my life, and I was like very depressed kind of. And and then I suddenly came across this movie, Nomads of Ladakh by Abhishek, where he captured the pain point of people in Ladakh, how they are living, how they are surviving and all. And that triggered me, because at that point I was not ready, like what to do. I knew this is the problem, I knew how we can do, or what we should do, but I was not sure of the solution, like what, where should we stand. And at that point, after watching his this documentary, I thought, let's make a movie on these sports athletes. Let's focus on their pain points by showing their movies. So that was basically, it comes from my personal experience as well. And it turned out to be like that pain turned out to be a like great powerful thing for us. So yeah, I mean, and it's great that you mentioned that a sportsman goes through the situation every day. And even whenever you go to field, you know, there are two results, win or lose. So you still have to go on, you still have to play, you still have to be better. And that's also a life lesson, that we will win certain things, we will lose certain things. That's not the point. The point is just going on and being the better version of yourself. So I think uh, this by this movie we could project that. It's really it's really great. So yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Siddharth. When I was watching so one of the athletes mentioned like there should be a sports culture. So while I was watching, so I suddenly paused there and I was thinking, yeah, yeah, man, that is purely right. Like we are in a digital era where the sports culture is purely missing. So what are your thoughts on that point, Abhishek and Siddharth?
Yeah, Abhishek, do you want to take that? Okay, so let me take that. So, sports culture, like I mentioned, I was in Europe or US for some time, and I saw the sports culture very closely. And so, this is an experience as well. Like when I played football there were school fields already in the US, and there used to be like two clubs playing, right? And their parents will be coming there to support them. Here in India, if we go to any uh, like local events, even school events or whatever it is, how many parents will be there? That will be a good question to ask for ourselves. And the answer will be let's say zero, or very very less. Let's say in metro cities there will be, but in small cities, no one goes to the sports culture, no parents. Maybe to annual functions, to any other functions, but not to the sports. And that's why we have to change that sort of mindset. Our parents are still in that area, in that mindset, that sports won't take these children to the right place, because they know they know that only cricket has certain incentives and other sports don't have. So why are you playing sports? Or even if you are playing sports, you are going maximum to army or certain government offices. So so the significance of sports in our parents mindset, or in the middle class society or other societies, is very limited. And that's what we have to emphasize on, and we have to grow, or we have to change that mindset. We have to implement certain incentives, we have to give certain rewards in that system, so that parents realize, no, sports is a good career, and they can definitely support their children. And like they can say, no, you go for sports. Just studying is not enough, but sports is also good, not just for your career, like for money, but also for your well-being. So that is something, yes, we definitely should change.
Yeah, that's a great point, Siddharth.
And I think Kerala has a great culture. Northeast eastern states have great culture, sporting culture, as compared to other states.
Yeah,
I'm not
correct.
Yeah.
saying that that is the best, but yeah, there is some sort of culture. Even I talked to a few people in Tamil Nadu. They say it's good, but at the end of the day, the parents will say no, go for studies. Like,
Exactly, exactly.
but
In Kerala and all, they all focus on the main two things, that is engineering and medicine. That is the only thing that all the parents focuses on. So even if their children are very good athlete and all, they never ever focus on anything. The only thing they focus is it good, is it good for their future. So if it is not good, then they will definitely leave. That is something, a very big problem that is faced by the whole India. So it's really hard. So that's a small thing that we wanted to change actually. So that's why we're gonna going for our second documentary also. So we this project, our primary thing of this project is actually exactly to change the minds of the parents. So basically every parents has this same mind. I mean, like just like what Dalveer Singh said about the sports culture. So they don't actually support their children, or they don't do anything, but what they want is a good career. And that's why they are always not giving good support for their children.
Right. I can feel it personally.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, anyway, you already talked about the what are the future plans. So my last question was like how we are planning to take it, and what's your future steps like, and how we are, as Siddharth already mentioned about this, and like the plans. But I also wanted to take what will be like different actions or something what we'll be taking so that we can try to improve, especially this mentality what you're talking about in the society.
uh, right. So all the characters shown in the documentary, or let's say real life people shown in the documentary, I'm still connected with them. I'm trying to support them financially in some ways, or in some, like, if they need kids or if they need other things. So I'm trying to do that. On top of that, we have like a sports channel, Instagram channel, Quick Learn in Sports, where we try to promote contents, these athletes contents, for free. We don't charge anything from them, and we try to shoot and edit for them. So that way, maybe, they get some sort of visibility, and at least they get some sort of push or encouragement that these guys are there. I mean, we guys are there, and we are kind of contributing in their day-to-day actions. Because for an athlete to go every day and working that hard, and still and after all those criticism from parents or society, it's very difficult to continue. So I personally am trying to build a small team, where we can take these small steps and help them in different way. So next project we are trying to focus is about the Lost Hero Part 2. There is a area that I have started working on the story and all the details of it, and pretty soon we will be finished with the stories and everything planning, and then we will go there and shoot. That will be very interesting topic. So in our next maybe a discussion, we will discuss in more detail, like what is it about, and yeah, definitely looking forward to it.
Yeah, thank you, Abhishek. Thank you, Siddharth, for joining. But I'm going to just, after this interview, I'm going to binge watch Abhishek's channel
Yeah.
because there are a lot of
Yes.
documentaries. So I'm just going
Yes.
to, because I loved his way of cinematography, way of editing the color grading. Because the first shot I saw, and I directly connected it with Super Deluxe, because the Super Deluxe color grading and this color grading was similar for me. So hence I'm going to go and binge watch. So I think everyone should binge watch. So thank you, Siddharth and Abhishek, for joining. So we hope we connect with you in future for future videos also.
Absolutely.
Lakshman,
Thank you so much.
Thank you everyone, and really looking forward to, and all the best for all the initiatives, and we will also help you as much as possible to promote this in every channel and Insta page as well.
Thank you
Thank
very much, Lakshman and Ratish. It was a pleasure talking to you. And yeah, like looking forward to your content as well. I love Cinebois, and I'll watch all those movies that you guys have recommended, though it's in different language. But yeah, it's okay. I love cinema as well. And yeah, all the best to you guys as well, because what you guys are doing, breaking down the scenes of movies, it's really uh, people who love cinema, they should also get this part. So I think great job that you guys are doing, and looking forward to more collab like this. And yes, let's go. Yeah, subscribe to Abhishek's channel. He's doing great work. I think he'll be putting more documentaries
yeah.
this year. And yeah, Abhishek, go ahead and maybe quickly tell about your projects, a few projects maybe.
Okay, so next project I'll be leaving to Wayanad. So it's a very interesting project. So today only I got the confirmation. So it's about a lady. So she's actually working on animals. I mean, treating animals and all. So it's a very interesting topic. So I read this article from an wildlife conservative in Wayanad. So when I got this topic, so I called them and I asked them about this lady and all. So it's a very interesting topic. So it's in a very remote area in Wayanad. So
Okay.
hopefully you will see it will be good. Like I mean, I've been planning a wildlife documentary for a very long time. So this will be very interesting also. It'll be short, but it'll be definitely will be very interesting.
Sounds interesting, man. Looking
Yeah.
forward.
Sounds interesting. Yeah.
Yes, looking forward to it. Abhishek, all the best, and yeah, send some photos to us as well.
Yeah,
Definitely,
man.
definitely.
Yeah.
So I think we can close. I think the time is
Yeah.
also getting over. I think Zoom will end the
Okay.
video on its own. So thank you, man. We can connect for sure for at
Yes.
any time you all are free. And
Thank you
Yeah.
see
so
you
much.
next.
But Abhishek, are you on Insta? Like
Yeah.
because we didn't.
Of
Maybe like Siddharth, you can give us our page. Maybe we
yes,
can
yes,
connect
yes.
because I am really
I'll
looking forward for lots of Abhishek contents because I am
yes,
moving this
and
thought process as well.
yeah, maybe you can put a section, review section on Abhishek's work,
Yeah, that's what I was
including the
Yeah,
planning.
Lord
actually, we are
Sreekrishna.
planning to like talk about the video only. Then we will put up the
Yes,
interview. So
Yeah.
that's the way
perfect.
we had thought. Yeah.
Perfect. And I think recently Abhishek also did like there is a place in Jaisalmer or Jaipur, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
Rajasthan, right?
So the girls
The
school,
Rajasthan.
freedom,
right?
wings of
So
freedom. I
Yeah.
saw that.
Wings of Freedom, exactly.
Yeah, I saw
So
that.
that is also great initiative. I think this guy is at a different level. So yeah, please support, please
Yeah,
support
yeah,
him.
yeah.
We need
Sure,
people
man.
like
This is the
Abhishek.
problem. Every time I do, the views I'm getting is very, very less, but still I'm
No,
doing.
don't worry, man. Like as much
Don't
as
know, man,
possible
but
from our side, like we'll
yeah,
try
we will push
to.
from our side. Like our
Yeah.
YouTube is also not working. The same video we are putting on YouTube on Insta at the same time, but the Instagram thing is working, but the YouTube thing is not working. So no idea how the algorithm is
Yeah, the
taking up the
algorithm
videos.
is really, really tough. I mean, like the dance, if we dance, we'll definitely get a million
Yeah.
views.
Yeah.
Else we
Yeah.
won't.
Or if we change a gender.
Yeah, if we change the gender, then it's very, very easy. That's true, man.
That's yeah.
It's the harsh reality.
No, man, like
But
you just need
don't
one
worry,
video to
Abhishek.
go viral. You just
Yeah,
need
yeah,
one
don't
video
worry,
to go
Abhishek.
viral.
I think you will reach great heights, and we will also try to uh, like put it in as much as possible and promote it as
I
Thank
think
you.
all
Abhishek,
your.
I liked what Lakshman said on the other day, that the organic work, the quality work takes time, but it grows very well. Like it's good.
Long
Organic growth is very
sustenance.
much good.
Like it will be
Exactly,
long
sustainable.
sustaining for you, Abhishek. Don't worry.
Thank you.
So
Just
I think
we'll
yeah,
support, and I think you will reach.
yes, let's go, let's
Yeah.
go. All right,
Yes.
guys. So nice talking to you. Peace out.
Nice talking to you.
Nice out.
Bye.
Yeah. Nice talking to you guys.
Bye.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining. Yeah.
Bye,